I literally started this 8 days ago, not even the beginning of February. What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be setting up my March spreads in my new bullet journal that I decided to finally start this year. And this is basically just my realistic, no pressure, very simple version of the bullet journal, like not like anything you would see that's super fancy online. I'm also going to be showing you the February spreads that I already have. Know that you don't have to start at the very beginning of the year. I started in February. So before I show you the February spreads that I already have, I just kind of wanted to quickly say why I started bullet journaling this year, or why I decided to start it this year. So low-key am actually pretty high-key a procrastinating type of person, and I'm also very forgetful. And I have actually bought a lot of pre-made planners in the past, and I usually use it for like the first month or two, and then I kind of just keep it aside. Actually, I have one right here. It's like, it's been sitting here for the entire year. I like have this whole pre-made planner in the past, and I've used it till I think April. Instead of getting an actual planner this year, I decided to start a bullet journal, and yes, I did buy a pretty expensive bullet journal, which you don't have to if you're deciding on or planning on thinking about starting one. I love how like free and flexible it can be. It can be as like fancy or as pretty, creative, full of drawings, or as simple and messy and dumpy as you want it to look. So also, like, you can just basically make pages that you need, like that you actually need, instead of having everything that's preset. So I really appreciate the idea of bullet journaling. And if I do only end up using like half the notebook this year, I can always continue using it next year. Anyways, I'm gonna quickly show you the supplies that I have. So the first thing I have is this bullet journal. This is the German like 1917 brand, which is like 30 bucks for this notebook. They have other versions, but this one, it says bullet journal on it. It has different colors. This one's probably from a couple years ago. I don't really know, but I chose this color specifically because I like the green. Honestly, you can use a cheap notebook to like a $5 notebook is honestly more than enough. So the thing I really like about this bullet journal is that it actually has the markings of like how much or like how wide the book is, and then like actually on the bottom of these pages there's like dots that also tell you how wide things are, which is the reason why I like wanted to try this book out. I also have this like flimsy ruler from this other notebook that I have, and then I also have two different pens. I have a 0.5 gel pen or ballpoint gel pen and a 0.38 I think ballpoint. This is the Ultra Micro. So I like to use this for like titles, and then I like to use this to write just because I actually write pretty small. And then I just bought a bunch of these, came in a pack. These are basically just, I think one side is like a fine tip and the other is like a highlighter. And these are things that you technically don't need, but this wasn't that expensive, and I kind of wanted like a semi-structure in my notebook, but not like a full structure. So part of my notebook is gonna look really neat, and the part of my notebook might look very messy and like very like brain dumped. Anyways, I'm now going to show you what I already have in my notebook before I start actually doing the March. But anyways, the first page that they have is basically the keys and intentions page. They do have some keys already, and then like I squared some of these out and I'm like, I don't like the way they look, so I like totally just ignore these and I made my own. And then for the intentions page, I basically just wrote what this notebook is for, what this notebook can be, and what this notebook is not for. And after that is basically just the index, which is basically the table of contents, which I think is pretty important because I need to know where everything is if my intentions are for this notebook to be not so perfect or not so like in categories, and that everything's kind of going to be in different pages. I need to be able to know where I'm going to find all of that stuff. Next, I have the page that I actually like wanted to look nice, which is my On the Future log. It's the year at a glance for 2026, and I have the entire year basically written out here, and the important dates that are highlighted are basically just birthdays of people in my family. And then on this side, I have the traditional Chinese cultural like days on here. Because I am Chinese and I do like celebrate some of these days, I would actually like to know which days they are. So I had it actually split into 4 seasons because we do have like seasonal things for these days. And then another super like nice page that I want it to look nice that I have like made is my goals for 2026. If you guys remember, I did make a vision board. If you guys watched that video, I did make a vision board for 2026. I don't even know if it's more simplified or more detailed, but I feel like it's slightly more detailed in here. So I have basically 6 different categories, which is like personal growth, finances, health and wellness, travel and experiences, YouTube and contents, and performing arts. Because I also do performing arts, I do have goals for myself this year. So another thing that I also wanted to look decent, not perfect or like cool or anything, but like decent, is the monthly title pages. And the things that I have decided to put on it is basically the title of the month and then a small calendar of the entire month. And then I also wanted to do song of the month. And then I also like to mark down the important Chinese cultural calendar days on here on the side. Each month is probably going to look different because, I don't know, it's going to change by mood. My next page is my YouTube ideas that I'm just listing. As you can see, originally I had everything spaced out like by 1 space, and then eventually I started filling in the middle parts because I feel like it was such a waste of space to not like fill up the notebook. And even though it's already the end of February, I am going to keep coming back to these pages to fill them up as I have like more ideas that are popping up in my head. And then the next page is basically a finance-based page, so I'm not going to share that because it's pretty personal. And then I have a to-do list. Most of these things I'm not done with because I literally started this 8 days ago, this notebook, 8 days ago, not even the beginning of February. There's also the YouTube travel ideas that I'm having for maybe later on this year. I have 3 little ideas right now, but if you guys have been watching my videos for a while now, thank you so much. You might know that I usually have a full travel vlog and then also like a rating everything I ate vlog, but you know, or fun things to do, everything I did, you know, I don't know, just things like that. But I have plans on places I would like to visit this year. So that's basically all the pages I have right now. So as you can see, there's not a lot and it's pretty random, but I'm actually gonna start setting up a new page, which is gonna be workout tracking, and I think I'm gonna put that right before my March title just because I already started the exercise things and I would like to actually put that in. So it's gonna be like late February to March, and because I know I'm gonna be able to fit everything into the page, I don't have like this thing where it's like the February stuff has to stay in February and the March stuff has to stay in March kind of thing. It can be I started it this month and I can go back to continue filling things in. Well, I mean, this is going to be a tracker page, so it's really not going to, you know. And what I am going to need is basically this ruler. I don't actually have a full plan on how I want to do this. So yeah, that's basically going to be my exercise tracker for 1 week. And for the fun of it, I do want to use color markers for this. So yesterday morning, I did the 7-minute video, and then I also did some abs. Today, I did the 7-minute video, and for this video, the 7-minute video is what actually counts. I did a little bit of extra abs, some glutes, neck and shoulder. So this is basically just tracking yesterday and today. And for March, I am feeling like using green. I don't know why. So I'm actually also gonna put in the little calendar. And now I have to make a little square for my song of the month. Ta-da! Song of the month. I just haven't highlighted because I want the ink to dry first. this might be how March is going to be for now, because I kind of don't want it to be so like fancy. And is there anything else I wanted to set up before? So yeah, that's basically it. This is how I'm basically setting up for March, because I don't know what pages I need for March yet, so I don't want to jump ahead and make any like specific plans. This bullet journal is not only to write down any random thoughts that I might have, or to be as creative as I want, or I can write my dreams in here, I can write stories in here, or like just plan things. If you notice, a lot of bullet journals, if you look it up, they have months and week plans. I don't have that, because I simply just don't need it. For any of you who are also beginners with a bullet journal, just know that just start simple, start with whatever you need, and you might notice it start changing throughout the year. But yeah, I'm pretty new at this too, so I looked at a lot of examples of how people make it and how pretty theirs look and how neat and everything. They have like the weather, or this week's plan, or like by the hour, what I'm gonna eat, healthy habits. I don't need any of that right now, so the only like tracker that I even have is this exercise tracker, because I like literally am making a video out of that for this notebook. Like I'm really not setting boundaries for myself. I'm doing whatever I want. But anyways, here's my simple March title page setup. And yeah, when I started this video, I thought I was gonna make more spreads for March, but realized I don't really need it. I was also going to put this in March, but since it started in February and I actually have tomorrow to go, that's actually going to push me to close to half the week in February, so I might as well just put it in February. Thank you so much for watching, and just remember that if you want to start a bullet journal, it doesn't have to be perfect. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, comment, and or subscribe. Especially comment if you prefer simple or fancy bullet journals, or if you have the habit of doing a bullet journal, what are some tips you would like to give me or to anyone else who are beginners? Share with the community. Anyways, I will see you in my next video. Bye!